Heavy gunfire and explosions have been heard from the main facility of the Turkish aerospace industries in the capital, Ankara. While the Turkish Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya is calling the incident a terrorist attack. He says, unfortunately, we have martyrs and wounded people after the attack. So the minister did not then provide specific casualty figures, but has said the public would be informed about ongoing developments.
Today, I'm prepared to share what we know at this stage. We assess that between early to mid-October, North Korea moved at least 3,000 soldiers into eastern Russia. We assess that these soldiers traveled by ship from the Wonsan area in North Korea to Vladivostok, Russia. These soldiers then traveled onward to multiple Russian military training sites in eastern Russia, where they are currently undergoing training. We do not yet know whether these soldiers will enter into combat alongside the Russian military, but this is certainly a highly concerning probability. After completing training, these soldiers could travel to Western Russia and then engage in combat against the Ukrainian military.
Update what might be next in the war in Ukraine. The U.S. and NATO say they have confirmed that troops from North Korea have started training with Russian forces. If the North Koreans join the fighting, it would be a dangerous escalation.
It's a scene that has set alarm bells ringing from Washington to Kyiv. North Korean soldiers, around 3,000, reportedly on the ground in Russia, dressed as Russian military personnel. The images, not independently verified, apparently show the recruits at a training exercise near the far eastern Russian city of Vladivostok, just 4 hours from the border with North Korea, according to a White House assessment. In June, when the autocratic leaders of Russia and North Korea, Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un, held these direct talks, they also signed a mutual defense pact, deepening ties that stretch back beyond the Cold War. Since then, South Korean intelligence officials have said North Korea has sold more than 1 million artillery rounds to the Kremlin, bringing in desperately needed foreign currency. While President Putin, in dire need of more arms and men, is attempting to contain domestic anger at the estimated 600,000 killed or wounded Russians fighting in Ukraine.
The question that we're asking ourselves, and we don't have an answer for right now, is what does Kim Jong-un think he's getting out of this?
And the fear is North Korea wants Russia to help modernize its outdated weapon systems, including its nuclear missiles. Nuclear missiles Kim just this month warned he would not, quote, hesitate to use.
New updates regarding cyber attacks against the United States' critical infrastructure systems from Iran coming out in just the past 48 hours. Let's take a look at the latest headlines coming out, you guys. Iran targets critical infrastructure with brute force attacks. According to the CISA and the FBI, they're warning, this article coming out yesterday, October the 17th, 2024, of attacks against our infrastructure systems. Here's another one. Iranian hackers target critical sectors with brute force, according to the United States and Canada, as they are saying they are using brute force methods. I'm going to be covering the details of this for you in this article, letting you know what they've been saying here in about the last 48 hours, as we've been hearing these warnings for quite some time from the FBI that there are attacks coming from other nations against the United States' infrastructure systems, targeting water, electrical grids, transportation, communication systems, health, our pharmacies, all of these planning to disrupt U.S. Regular everyday life. And take a look at this article coming out as well. Cyber criminals are increasingly helping Russia and China target the United States and allies, according to Microsoft. New information coming out from Microsoft saying they are seeing this take place, and that there are tons of cyber criminals now helping Russia, China, Iran, all of these various nations that are our adversaries come together.
There were two things that stood out to me in this town hall tonight with Vice President Kamala Harris. Number one, Anderson Cooper asked her about her previous comments at another town hall with CNN's Jake Tapper, calling Trump's border wall medieval.
You're doing this compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I am not afraid of good ideas where they occur, Anderson.
So you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense.
The vice president didn't really answer. She refused to acknowledge that she supports a border wall. She refused to acknowledge that perhaps she was wrong with her past position. Another voter asked the vice president, what are you going to do, Madam Vice President, to tackle rising cost of food in the grocery stores? So many people are struggling.
Part of my plan is to create a new approach that is the first time that we will have a national ban on price gouging.
How does that help, though, someone like Eric with prices that for years the grocery prices just been high?
She had no sufficient answer. That's the problem.
Let's talk about this compromise bill that you want to pass if you're elected. You said that's going to be a priority. It includes $650 million in funding for the border wall. That's something Republicans wanted. That was part of the compromise. Under Donald Trump, you criticized the wall more than 50 times. You called it stupid, useless, and a medieval vanity project. Is a border wall stupid?
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall. So remember, Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it? Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall did he build? I think the last number I saw is about 2%. And then when it came time for him to do a photo op, you know where he did it? In the part of the wall that President Obama built.
But you're agreeing to a bill that would earmark $650 million to continue building that wall.
I pledge that I am going to bring forward that bipartisan bill to further strengthen and secure our border. Yes, I am.